The following is a production of Learfield Sports.
Well, the Wisconsin Badgers were in State College last weekend and lost in overtime on Friday 4-3 despite a two-goal effort from Jake Linhart. And then Saturday, freshman Luke Cunnin extended his goal-scoring streak to 3 games with a shorthander to cut Penn State's lead in half heading to the third. Again, though, the Nittany Lions prevailed. Now the Badgers are home to take on the Minnesota Golden Gophers. I'm Brian Posick, and stick around. Head coach Mike Eaves joins us next on the Badger Hockey Digest.
The Badger Hockey Digest is brought to you by Charter Communications.
Well, Mike, both games in State College, you were in it 2-1 after 2 in both games, and you rallied. 2 goals on Friday night. Luke Cunnin pulls you even. Penn State goes ahead, and then a beautiful pass play to set up Jake Linhart's game-tying goal, and 2 pretty goals in the third that gave you a chance going to overtime against them.
Well, we're playing really good hockey again, and I feel bad for the kids going in the locker room after the game and not being able to get over the hump. And it's frustrating for the players, I think for the coaches, because you see the progress that we've made, you see how close we are getting. And it reminds me of the term Osgood Slaughters, which is a kind of a, I don't know if it's a disease, but a soreness that kids get when they grow up because their legs are growing at a rate that's not in tune with their body. It hurts. And that's what we're going through right now. We're going through growing pains, and we haven't got past that yet. So as a result, after games, we hurt, we're not feeling good. And I was talking to Bethy's dad, and we're talking about farming. And the fact is, we're not ready to harvest yet. We've planted seeds. The seeds are growing. There's a process that we're going through, and we're not over the hump and being able to harvest the wins yet. So it's a matter of keeping the boys on track of the little victories that we're having and the way that we're playing until we get to the point where we can harvest and we can get over the hump and win some games. And that's our task right now as coaches, because we are doing many good things. You're seeing them yourself, Brian, and we know that we're going in the right direction. Our plants aren't wilting. They're not falling over. They continue to grow up, and we need to do with the basketball team and get that big win again, and that'll give us some juice here as we move through the end of the season.
Yeah, we saw Penn State. Now, this is a very good team, too. So you're right in the mix with a team that very well could win the Big Ten Conference, right? And that's what you built. So those are the positives you're talking about.
No, they're a veteran team, and they're harvesting right now. And so it's where we want to get to. But again, when we watch video and we're knocking on the door, and it's a great environment, it's tough to win in there. And so our job right now as coaches is to make sure that our kids are celebrating those little victories so that we can continue to go in the direction that we're going and start turning some of those close games into wins.
Yep. Matt Jerusik faced 99 shots over the weekend, too. He stopped 91. His save percentage was really, really good. He just needs to stop a couple of more along the way, right?
Well, it was interesting in talking to Matt. He was both pleased with his performance, and there were some goals that he felt that were first shot goals that he would like to have a second crack at and get them. And that's a great mentality for your goaltender to have, and that's the mentality you want him to have. So he's learning too, and it's a lot of pressure, a young guy in there. He played very well at times, and for him to have that attitude is a good thing for our team.
Yeah. Among the reasons to be positive about Wisconsin hockey, the next 8 games are at home, and the Badgers' special teams have been really solid this season. More on that coming up in just a moment.
Game night. That magical weekly gathering where lands are conquered, and you get trapped in the dungeon that is your bedroom. But you've got blazing fast Spectrum internet, so Kevin and his friends have enough bandwidth to play together, and you have enough left over to find a new apartment. Get 60 megabits of dragon-slaying speed with Spectrum Internet. Where will it take you?
This is Andrew Seelsdorf. He plays hockey. This is leukemia. It's bad business. This is Andrew's oncology team. They love Andrew. They don't like leukemia. And thanks to them, Andrew is now cancer-free. Booyah. They are the world-renowned physicians, scientists, and nurses at the American Family Children's Hospital, pioneers in pediatric cancer care. UW Health. Remarkable.
Well, Wisconsin's power play has been around 20% or better all season long, and its penalty kill is much improved. A top 10 unit right now at about 87% and almost 90% in Big Ten play. Grant Besse plays on the penalty kill, and I asked him what's made it so successful this season.
With our power play, the big thing is we can do multiple things. We're not looking for one set deal all the time. We can walk around, take what's given and go from there. Usually it's opportunities and both units. Not only our unit, both units really been clicking and multiple assets they can use to put the puck in the net.
And when you have good special teams, power play, penalty kill, and a goaltender that's keeping the puck out of the net more times than not, you can win a lot of hockey games and maybe a championship along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's another thing with the scoring. If you get a couple power plays every game, we have opportunities to score, and if we get a penalty kill and we're up by a goal or something, we know that our penalty kill is going to come to play and hopefully kill it off. So I think that just gets the whole team confidence about winning that we can develop throughout the rest of the season.
Well, Mike, you have a number of players on the PK that have done a nice job for you, Grant Besse being one of them, but you are more aggressive on the penalty kill. You're forcing the issue, and therefore, you're keeping the puck out of your own net. And then we've seen the power play at times be really, really good, too. The other cool thing we saw at Penn State was a shorthanded goal by Luke Cunnin set up by Eddie Whitko. If you can generate some offense from your PK, even the better.
It is, and if you take a look at the specialty teams, the penalty killing has been doing an outstanding job. Coach Luke has done a really good job. He's got them on the same page. And even though they're down a man, when the puck is in certain positions, we pressure the team. And most teams will do this against you. And if you can handle the pressure, you're going to get some good chances. But the penalty killing has done a really nice job with Matty Jurczyk being a big part of that, making saves at key times. But to the point that Grant made, we get after people at the right times, and we're all playing together. The power play is, they did an unbelievable job Saturday night. We must have had 5 grade A scoring chances, and we talked about it after the game. One of the turning points of the game was that second period power play where we didn't get that timely goal. And we did some unbelievably good things, created the shots that we wanted, and either the goalie made the save or we hit the post or we missed the net a couple times. So the power play is the offensive side of things, and if we're creating chances, which we did, the goals will start going in, but we need it to kick in so we can turn these close games into wins for us.
All right, the Minnesota Golden Gophers come to town this weekend. Here's a team that's 500 overall, but shares first place in the Big Ten with Michigan. It doesn't seem to have that high-powered offense, at least by the numbers right now, but they certainly have the ability to put the puck away.
No, they've got one line that does a really good job. I don't think their back end is high end as we've seen it, but they can skate. They're very mobile, and their young goaltender, just seems to get the job done. He's not fancy or looks good. They're over, big guy, but he seems to get some pads in front of it, and so they'll come in with their normal speed and skill. Maybe not as high end as before, but they can still get up the ice, and they walked into Penn State last week and beat them 7-1, or 2 weeks ago, beat them 7-1. So, it's interesting with the Gophers. I think no matter where we are in the standings, it's just a game that everybody looks forward to, and it doesn't matter where you are, they're very competitive games.
Yeah, and I mentioned that too. I went on Twitter after the Penn State series and said, can't wait for the Gophers. And I think a few of your players liked that tweet because they were ready too.
Yeah, no, when that game on Saturday, as soon as we talked about it, before we left the locker room, we said we need to turn our attention now and start getting ready for the Gophers.
All right, well, good luck.
Thank you,
Brian.
Brian.
Sure, that's Badgers head coach Mike Eaves. Wisconsin and Minnesota, Friday night face-off at the Kohl Center at 8 o'clock. You can also watch it on the Big Ten Network. The American Sports Network has Saturday's game at 7, and as usual, you can listen on the radio on the Badgers Sports Network. And for Mike Eaves, I'm Brian Posick. Thanks for watching the Badger Hockey Digest.